This is the Owl of Wisdom. Like and subscribe for 10 years of good luck. If you don't, it won't be pretty. What do you genuinely just not understand? Flat earthers. Like, there's so much evidence, especially with phenomena like lunar eclipses. How and why? Some odd societal norms. I always stressed about the fact that if I told a girl I wanted to get to know her better, it'd be too obvious I liked her. But would that really be so bad? Anti-vax parents. Do you wanna kill your children? Medical billing in the US. Brand name culture. I accept that some things made by a brand name are just better quality and that's okay. What I do not understand is why somebody would pay an extravagant amount of money for something that you could buy for much less just because it has a label. See, that singer who released a plain white tee for $140, Drake? Do people need to show that they can afford these things to feel validated? I wouldn't can afford to buy something branded. I'm not against it. I would buy it because I liked it, whether it was made by Primark or Armani. Directions. I could drive/walk the same route 1000 times, but if I don't turn on a GPS, I'll get lost. Can't figure out why. Why people antagonize things they don't understand, and more importantly, why people think mayonnaise isn't an instrument. How much we praise alcohol as a society. There are college football weekends where millions of people are drunk beyond control, and not only do we endorse it, we encourage it. The drug can kill you, and it makes you dangerous to those around you. Yet a guy who pulls out a bong and sits in a lawn chair quietly is the drug addict. Why someone would not use their turning signal. You don't even need to take your hand off the wheel. You extend one finger a little bit and boom. Turning signal. That gravity is not a force, but a warping of space-time, or something like that. Can't get my head around it. Why is it that most couples who constantly fight, badmouth, and obviously despise each other feel that the answer to all of this is to have a baby? I'm really growing tired of these stupid motherfuckers. The massive disconnect between the words attributed to Jesus vs the policies and actions of the people evangelical voters put into office. Socializing. Math after the alphabet gets involved. Why people devote so much time and energy to hating things. How could you be happy when you are constantly angry about things out of your control? Racists, homophobes etc. It just seems like so much effort. For what? It makes no sense, and even if you do feel that way, it's an unwinnable battle. Schrödinger's equation like WTF. People that give a shit so much about someone else's life that they go out of their way to make them feel bad. Cardi B and why people like her. Paying for digital trading cards. The human capacity for evil. Math and more generally people who can actually concentrate and study/go to college. Basically anything where dedication is involved to learn something. I struggle to understand how to do it. Understanding more subtle facial expressions. I just can't seem to read faces that well and end up being told I was being too blunt. The whole gender fluid and all those new pronouns. Writing arrays in Java code, gave up and quit computer science. How to beat a decent chess player. How people are capable of staying awake up to 5 o'clock or 6 AM. Mumble rap. Yes. On both levels. How hypocritical some people can be. You can't tell someone not to do something and then go and do it yourself. Or you can't tell someone to do something and then not do it yourself. That just makes you untrustworthy and look like an ass. Why people are still supporting nationalism. It is quite evident to me that it is more important to see yourself as a citizen of the earth than of any country. In the end, countries are superficial. They are completely made up. They can and will continue to change. You shouldn't blindly support a country simply because you belong to it. I honestly feel that we need to stop dividing ourselves, whether that be for political, religious, or cultural reasons. The more divided the human race becomes, the closer we are to our downfall. I don't care if it's tomorrow or in 1,000 years, nationalism can only lead to despair. Getting drunk. What's so fun in becoming an idiotic mess and then complain your head hurts? Also celebrating birthdays. Government's not taking way more action on climate crisis. Furries. Why does a message of hate move around faster than a message of love? The idea of backchatting. Believe me, I've tried. Once, when I was like 10, I asked a teacher for the definition of backchatting. The definition she gave me didn't match with something I was told was backchatting, so I brought this up. I then got in trouble for backchatting. I just can never understand people who block intersections. Why do I have to sit through 3 red lights just because people constantly block intersections where no one can get through? Punishment should honestly be execution. Office politics. If your promotion status is based on how well you are liked and not on the actual work you're paid for, then WTF is the point? Office politics. If your promotion status is based on how well you are liked and not on the actual work you're paid for, then WTF is the point? Caring about other people without actually getting something back from them. You won't care about them when you're dead. You're probably not going to be remembered if you give everything you have without getting anything in return. I don't understand religion. How can you believe that there is a or multiple all-powerful being? Or that God created Adam and Eve? Or that there's a heaven and hell? How do you guys believe that? Smoking. When you start it's literally horrible. Why continue to the point of being addicted? Well, social pressure I guess, but that's sad. Edit. Reading your answers makes me realize that many people don't experience the coughing or nausea I have. I didn't take into account using it to clear your mind of some personal issues. Guess social pressure is just a tiny portion of people starting to smoke. How good people can vote for Trump. I know some people who are honestly decent human beings. But they manage to support a person who is, in my eyes at least, devoid of any positive characteristics. How do they manage to overcome cognitive dissonance? Appeal of the chart music, women, mathematics, the Geordie accent, and why I'm so desperately miserable. Complex mathematics. Politics. Growth-based long-term economic planning. Isn't that kind of a Ponzi scheme? Shouldn't we try to plan for stability? Math. Times in English, I'm Russian. Depression. Am I depressed because my life sucks? Does my life suck because I'm depressed? Am I depressed? Am I not depressed? Was I depressed 5 minutes ago but not now? Is that possible? Will I always be depressed? Do I have OCD? How to be consistent in golf. American pride and patriotism. Math. Animal cruelty. Velocity triangles. I need help. How people can be so misguided with regards to the Second Amendment. Like I totally agree and understand we have a problem in this country, but gun control only makes things worse. But superfans pour money in false advertising and lies that support the anti-gun viewpoint. In addition, you can't simply chip away at our rights. None of them. We have to collectively as a group, not as parties or liberal/conservatives, stop fighting and work around it to find a way to help it in our mental health system. Edgy trolls on Reddit trying desperately to upset folk and failing. Like why continue? You just got downvoted, now nobody sees what you said. And proper racists and the willfully ignorant. And folk who don't understand satire. You can't be racist and understand satire. The two don't mix. Hell, you can't be a conservative and understand satire, haha. Why are people so obsessed with sex and relationships? Stuff people do is fucking nuts. You didn't have sex for a month. Bummer, I guess, but why are you losing your shit over it? Don't have a boy/girlfriend? Well, I guess that sucks, but it's not like you lack the rest of your life. Someone of the opposite sex is nice to your partner or considers them good looking? Shouldn't you be proud for your partner instead of being jealous and paranoid? I don't understand people who make a big deal out of sex either, like breaking up otherwise great relationships because there's issues in the bedroom. Reading articles that say, if your partner doesn't initiate sex anymore they must be cheating, no other option possible. Making a big deal out of one's refusal to have sex, or remain a virgin. Manipulating the partner by making sex a reward, or punished by denying it. Ads genuinely using sex appeal to sell their bullshit to thirsty idiots, and it works. I mean, sex is nice, but why make such a big deal out of it? People who think a few insane people and criminals justify banning guns for all honest law-abiding people. I can respect people who believe in sensible gun laws such as more thorough background checks, wait times etc. I disagree with them, but am more than happy to have a civil debate about it. But the ban all guns for everyone besides the government types. Nah, I just don't get the reasoning beyond, but the news said. People who say they're over things yet clearly aren't. I mean, it's fine to still have feelings on topics, why the need to pretend? My math class. Why it's such a big deal to stay in the middle lane on a motorway. I mean, you'll be overtaking slower traffic and the speed demons can overtake in lane 3. What's the issue? Force equals mass x acceleration. To me it seems like force should equals mass x velocity. If a car is doing 60 miles per hour and hits me, it has zero force because it was neither accelerating or decelerating. Clearly I'm missing something here. Syncostan. They are a ratio. WTF does that mean? Reddit karma. Non-Euclidean geometry. I've tried several times. Mathematics. Going out to eat. It's damn expensive. You need to wait for your food. Annoying people. My life. Are disposable jewels batteries or pods? My friend wanted me to go buy him a disposable because he's not old enough to. I've seen those blue jewels and heard that they're disposable. Are those pods or batteries? I thought pods were the small things. I don't understand if the double slit experiment is meant to undermine things most people think they know about how the world works. It doesn't seem that way to me. But whenever someone talks about it, whether they're intelligent or not, it's with some degree of mysticism. I can understand that the way physics is perhaps not the way our minds intuitively understand the world. But that doesn't quite help in debates, where I suspect the other side is using arguments that blind with science. People who buy stuff on Fortnite. It's a fucking waste. Why Vaporwave is popular or enjoyable. Lapis transforms. Integration by parts. Parents that give their kids crazy names. Don't get how selfish they can be to not think about how a name will affect their child. Crazy names. Sexy fruit pilot Inspector Hitler Abg, just to name a few. Why would you do it? Parents that give their kids crazy names. Don't get how selfish they can be to not think about how a name will affect their child. Crazy names. Sexy fruit pilot Inspector Hitler Abg, just to name a few. Why would you do it? Why people are mean to each other. That is solving nobody's issues, it's making them worse. Also, you shouldn't care what people say about you, but deep inside we always have a lingering negative feeling we can't describe when bad things are said about us. It's a hard topic to discuss, and all I want is for people to live happy without social anxiety or other problems. Thanks for watching the Chronicles of Reddit. Like and subscribe for a marvelous life of adventure.